Welcome back to Designsmith. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create this type of poster in Illustrator. In last week's Weekly Favorites video, this was one of the posters that I showed, and I had a few people ask me to do a video on how to make a poster like this. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Before we get started, please subscribe to support the channel. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of zoom out. I'm going to move this over here to this side, and it's going to be a lot easier if we go ahead and rotate this to where the text is already straight, and then we can do the rotation later. So let's go ahead and rotate this. It doesn't have to be precise, it just needs to be roughly where it needs to be. There we go. Okay, so I spent a pretty good amount of time yesterday trying to figure out exactly how to do this. And I played around with a few different techniques, but I think the one that's gonna work best is gonna be to use the blend tool. And the great thing about that is that Illustrator will do most of the work for you. So I'm gonna select everything here. We're gonna lower the opacity down to about 30% or 40%. That just makes it a lot easier to see the text that we're gonna be laying down here. And I went ahead and locked this, that way I can, click and move over this and it's not gonna move anything. All right, so I'm gonna lay down whatever type this is. I have no idea what language this even is. Maybe German? It looks German to me. Okay, so temporarily we are going to use the color yellow so that way it doesn't blend in with the rest of the poster and we can clearly see what type we are laying down versus the type that's in the poster. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna set the size roughly the same. It doesn't have to be exact because this isn't the same font that they're using in this poster. And now I'm going to duplicate this and bring it up here to this side. And then we'll enlarge this and we'll just kind of line up that E right there. All right, now we're going to select both of these and activate our blend tool. So that's going to start right here at the largest size and blend it all the way down to the smallest size. However, we've got 3 in between here and we need 2. So let's go over here and double click on the blend tool and we're going to change smooth color to specified steps. And we need 2 in between there and then hit OK. And you'll notice here that the spacing isn't quite right. So what we need to do is expand this, create outlines, and then ungroup everything so we can align it properly. So the first thing we're going to do is go up here to Object, Expand, and we're going to expand the object and the fill and hit OK. And now we need to create outlines. And now we need to ungroup everything. So each line of text is still an individual item. So what I'm gonna do is select all 4 of these and go over here to our line panel, make sure that a line 2 selection is selected, and now we're gonna click on distribute vertical space. So now our vertical spacing is perfect. And now all we need to do is move these over to where these kind of line up right here. I'm gonna align this in with this U. And then we'll do the same thing right here, and then we'll do the same thing down here. And then when we get to an area like this where we have a whole bunch of them and they get really, really small, I definitely recommend doing this manually. So I'm going to type out our type here, and we'll rotate this to where it's vertical right there. And now let's line this up to about that same size. And again, we're not using the same font, so it's not going to line up perfectly. Okay, so now we're just going to make copies going this way. And if you'll notice, our line right here on the side, it actually is not a straight line all the way down. So we need to keep that in mind. So I'm going to hold down Shift and just kind of size this down right here. There's 2 different things we can look at as we're sizing this down. One of them is the left alignment right here on this side. And then the second one is where the text actually falls in relationship to the yellow text that we have up here. So keep those 2 relationships in mind when you're doing this. And I just recommend doing this manually because when you use the blend tool, it actually kind of throws it all out of whack. And then once we get everything laid down here, then we can go in and actually distribute that spacing. So I'm just going to continue this method right here. Once you get down to a place like this, you can kind of look to see what the general outline of the word is. So just kind of backing up a little bit, it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish, like between 9 and 10 more to go. So I'm just going to keep doing that. And then once you get down to about this size, then you can go ahead and finish off with your blend tool here. So I'm going to get this to about right there, and then select both of these, activate the blend tool, and then put about 6 in between here. And then we can do exactly what we did earlier. Go up to Object, Expand, Expand Object and Fill, Ungroup, and now distribute our spacing. So that keeps our nice even spacing there. And then I'll just kind of move this right here to get this in line with the rest of the type. So now I'm going to select all of these, create outlines, and with everything still selected, I'm going to go over here to Align to Selection and Distribute Spacing. All right, so that's looking good right there. I'll go ahead and make everything over here yellow as well. So that way we can distinguish between our type and the original poster's type. All right, and the last repeated section to work on is this one right here. And then for this one, we need to make sure that we align to the center. It just makes it a lot easier to deal with when you're copying things and then resizing. Okay, the thing to keep in mind with this kind of poster is that there's a lot of refinement to do. So just keep that in mind. I think I'm actually, okay, there we go. I forgot to color those last two right there. Okay, and now we'll fill in this last bit of text. We'll put this Museum für, I have no idea what word that is. Sorry if I mispronounced it. Gestaltung C, I have no idea, but it has something to do with gestalts. It's like an art gallery or something. Then we'll put the date in right here. It looks like they're using an M dash here, which is interesting. And we'll color that, just that red temporarily. And then I'll type out the rest of this type right here. All right, now we'll get this sized up to around the same size here. Looks like it's aligned left, so let's do that. Okay, now that we've got everything laid out exactly the way we want, I'm gonna move this over here to this side. Let's go ahead and create a background. And we'll send this all the way to the back. I'm gonna unlock all. That's gonna bring this back. And we'll bring this back up to 100% so that we can color drop on it. So let's select everything that's red, and then we'll color drop this red right here. And then we'll select the yellow, go up here to select same fill color. And now we'll just color drop this white. All right, let's rotate this roughly back to what it was before, just so we can get a visual. And now I'm gonna duplicate this background and then lock the original. And we're gonna select everything here and group it all together. So that way we can move it all as one unit. So I'm gonna put this dead center in our artboard, and I'm gonna hit the R key and then rotate it. And then we'll rotate it to, looks like about 30 degrees there. And now we'll just kind of move this roughly to where it needs to be. We don't have to be exact on this, but let's put it roughly about right there. And this size right here is actually a different size. That's why we are missing a block of type up here. But what we can do to fix that is just duplicate another one up here and then just enlarge it slightly. So that way we've got that space filled in. Okay, now we're gonna go over here to this black shape. I'm gonna temporarily color it pink just so I can see it very clearly. And let's center this on our artboard. And now I'm gonna bring the pink box to the front. And with the pink box still selected, going to select all of our type and hit Command 7. And as you can see, that will mask everything inside of our artboard here. So it's a lot of steps and a lot of refinement, but that is how you create this type of poster in Illustrator. I hope this video was valuable to you. If it was, please give it a like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.